Welcome back everyone, Knoxguy here with another Destiny video, and today I'm going to be bringing you King's Fall the raid. Now this is part 7 of a multi-part series of the general walkthrough of the raid, and this part's going to be showing you how to clear through the Daughters of Oryx. Now to start off, I'm going to be talking about this white orb that spawns in at the very beginning. This orb's going to be extremely critical because you actually have to obtain it to be able to take the shield off one of the wizards. Without taking the shield off the wizard, you won't be able to do any damage to him. Now there is going to be one of the wizards that enrages right at the beginning. That's actually going to be the wizard that you don't go for. You go for the one that's subtle, and you're going to be taking the shield off of them. Now right here, what just happened, I received a perk known as Torn Between Dimensions, and what this is going to allow me to do, it's going to allow me to jump on these platforms you'll see here in a second that are also torn between dimensions. But one person's actually going to be picked at random. It's not going to be set, and it'll change between each cycle too. So after we complete this first cycle, a second person will be picked at random as well. Now what we're doing at the moment, there's 4 plates on this map, and we're coordinating one person on each of the plates, and we actually have to step on these plates in a specific pattern to get these platforms to spawn up correctly. And right here these are actually the interdimensional plates that I'm talking about. You'll be able to slightly see them whenever you're a guardian standing on the plate, but you won't be able to jump on them. Only the person torn between dimensions can. There's also going to be an orb that's going to be sitting on top of these plates. You have to go up and touch it, and whenever it transfers to the next plate, that means that you've stepped on it correctly. Once you've cleared through all the orbs, you're going to be coming up to the last one with the graphic above it. This is the one you're going to want to be able to touch and grab, and you're going to jump up and you're going to run towards the wizard that actually isn't enraged at the moment. You're going to jump up and you're going to hold X, and you're going to steal the brand or the shield off of that wizard, and you're going to run to what I called our designated damage area. And what happens, everybody's going to stand in the shield, and they're going to get called what's brand of unraveling, or it's like an aura of unraveling on their screen, and it basically makes them invincible to all the other AoEs around the area. Now within this time period, we're actually going to be doing all the additional damage we can to the wizard that I took the brand off of. And you have to do enough damage to the wizard to where you can kill him within a certain amount of cycles, or else they enrage. And also another thing to point out is that you're going to rotate between each wizard, and right now we're doing damage on the right wizard, or if you're coming from the door spawn, the left one. And the next rotation will be doing damage on the other wizard. If you kill one wizard and then you start the rotation damage on the second wizard and you don't kill it, it'll actually enrage because there isn't a second wizard to start it. So you have to make sure you kill both wizards right after each other. Now what we're doing, and to talk about a little bit more about the plate sequence, the orb is currently standing over the plate that I'm on. Now what this means is that I'm actually going to be the last person to step on my plate, and the very first plate to step on is going to be the plate to the left of the orb. So where I'm currently standing right now, basically if I'm looking this direction, the plate far left of me is going to be the first plate to step on. The furthest one away from me that's catty corner, that's the second plate. The one that's currently across from me that I'm looking at, that's going to be the third plate, and then the plate with the orb sitting over on top of it is going to be the last plate. Now you have to make sure that the person in front of you stepped on their plate first. If you jump out of sequence and you stand on your plate first before the person before you got on theirs, the interdimensional platforms will actually get out of line, and the orbs won't spawn on top of the platform. And in this case, if this happens, you'll actually have to completely wipe, because you're not going to have enough time to reset the platforms, and the orbs won't spawn in, so you won't be able to get that last orb to take the brand off. And I do want to talk a little bit about, there's a timer, and you'll see it right here. It takes a second after the orb spawns in and a person's selected. It'll give you a timer on the side of your screen. And this is the amount of time that you're allotted right there. Hymn of the Weaving. You have 1 minute exactly that you have to jump on the platforms to collect that orb. You also have to make sure that you go to the right wizard and you have to pull their brand or their shield off of them. And you also have, within that minute, you have to do all the damage you possibly can to that wizard before the timer runs out. Now, if you weren't to obtain this orb right here and you weren't to take the shield off within that minute period of time, you'll actually be wiped. So within this minute, if you set up properly, the person that has the interdimensional perk basically sets themselves up saying, hey, I see the orb, I'm going to go stand on the plate that's left of it, and whenever that timer comes up, that's immediately when you can start. So as you can tell, the timer's about to run out. As soon as the timer runs out, the wizard will actually go white. In this case it won't, because we've already killed the first wizard. But if it weren't, it'll actually basically blind you, and you won't be able to see where you're doing damage at, but you can still do damage until the white light goes away. Now, as far as suggestions are concerned for this part, making sure that you have people designated to a plate makes it kind of easy. You can kind of intermingle whenever one of the plate holders becomes the interdimensional person. They can just say, I have the interdimensional perk, you know, and I'll be like, all right, well, I had it last, I'll jump on your plate. As you can tell right here, I was going to be the first person to jump on the plate, because the orb, if you were to look at that plate towards it, I would be the left plate, so I was going to be the first person to jump on, and then it goes in that U shape. Now, you do have to shoot all of the AoEs on the ground. They do become a problem, and there's also going to be a sniper that spawns in at exactly 40 seconds right after. And that sniper is a real issue, so you do need to turn around and take care of it when that timer hits 40 seconds. Now, you don't have to be standing in the shield to be able to get damage to the wizard, but standing in the shield does basically make you invincible to all the other AoEs, and you won't be able to take damage from them. Now, as you can tell right here, we did clear the second wizard right after the first. If we were unable to clear the first wizard in time, we would have actually been killed. And that right there is how you clear through the Daughters of Oryx.